Last time I spoke about this topic and I was politely asked to leave a mobile meetup. Hope it doesn't happen this time. We all have been shown the so-called future by this and similar looking picture all the time. But unfortunately, our love for interfaces has gone out of control. And it's in fact ruining the future of innovation. I want you to see it yourself.
Really?
Really?
It doesn't matter who you are, what your problem is, it has been made to believe us that mobile is the solution. This reminds me of one of my seniors in the college days. We used to call him Dr. Beer. You go to him, whatever your problem is, his recommendation is to go and have a beer. But what exactly is the problem of having a mobile app for every other situation? Or let me put the question in perspective. What is the problem of slapping an interface to every situation out there? In order to understand the problem, let us look at some real life situation. How about making a smart car cooling system? This problem was given at a hackathon, and majority of the team suggested creating a game-changing smartphone application to control the car cooling system. Underneath, this is how it was supposed to work in the real world. I know it is going to be hard to see, so I'm going to read it for you. You pull out your smartphone, you wake up your phone, you unlock the phone, you search your app, you launch your app, you wait for the app to load, and then you switch on the AC. And by the way, if you want to adjust the temperature, you again have to do it on the mobile itself. Now, this might look intuitive because this is how we have been doing all along. But you know what? It is not going to work in all the situations. For that, we will actually go to a theater to watch a movie.
सुनो सिंह, तुमसे ये छुप गया है।
I know you wanted to know what happened next, but see, that's the problem. We are expected to take a mental pause when the climax is going on to take out our phone and switch on the AC. It doesn't work that way. I take the point. This is not a big problem because we do not go and watch movies on a daily basis. So how about taking a look at another real situation? Making a smart bulb. Again, the idea which I found coming out from most of the people was to create a game-changing app which is going to control the light. Let us look at how it is going to work in the real world. You walk up to the room, you pull out your smartphone, you wake up your phone, you unlock the phone, you search your app, you launch your app, you wait for the app to load, you find the button, and then you switch on the light. Seriously? These many steps just to switch on the light? Can we do something about it? By the way, it has been marketed a lot that Conversation UI is going to fix the problems. Do you seriously believe for these kind of situations, Conversation UI is actually going to fix it? It is doing nothing but just replacing the press of a button with your voice command. I want to drive home the point, and hence we're going to look at another example. Maybe a weather app because it rains a lot in Bangalore. So let us solve the problem of carrying an umbrella. And the idea most of the time is to think of a smart weather app. And yes, you can add deep learning to it so that it really becomes very smart in predicting the rain. Now, by now you know the ritual, but still I'm going to irritate you with highlighting the steps. Pull out your smartphone, wake up your phone, unlock the phone, search your app, launch your app, wait for the app to load, and check if it rains, then carry the umbrella. You see, the biggest problem out here is the expectation that we have all the time and the patience in the world to attend to the different app needs. Maybe all the examples, all the real use cases that I presented to you are trivial to you, but there are certain serious and very dangerous problems as well. In India, it has been found that farmers are overusing pesticides. Now, they're not overusing pesticides due to lack of knowledge, but because they're desperate to save their crop. Why? Because they have to pay back their loans. Now, most of the time, the initial idea that was suggested during a brainstorming session was to create a smart app, which when given the location and the crop is going to recommend the right pesticide to use and the right amount to use. But the moment you have this insight, you realize that the solution is not a mobile application, but you need to go back and fix the microfinance in the villages. Most of the state government have built app for citizens to report garbage piles, but unfortunately, it is not working at most of the places. And this is not because of the government laxity alone. It is also due to the non-participation by us. Why? You see, who has the patience of taking out their phone while driving, taking the picture, tagging, and actually reporting it? The mobile last strategy is a mindset for a world filled with screens. If you think about it, the whole idea of thinking about mobile as the last option to kind of focus more on the user need and solve the real problem and not get fixated with the medium. By the way, isn't this design philosophy? Now, how do we go about building mobile last strategy? I'm going to talk about 3 guiding principles. The first one is embrace the process and embrace process instead of screens. Do I really need to provide explanation for it? This is self-explanatory. But what we're going to do, we are actually going to apply it to the car cooling system. So now you have a sensor which continuously measures the change in the temperature, and if it goes beyond the threshold, it automatically launches the AC. Now I know you are going to jump out and point out that it is going to drain the battery, but you know what? Who is stopping us to use, excuse me, who is stopping us to use the solar power? Which, by the way, technically it is possible. Even if I take that argument that it is going to drain the battery, who is stopping us to launch the AC just 20 minutes before the movie ends? By the way, where are we going to get the data or the information when the movie is going to end in next 20 minutes? Come on. We booked the ticket from the app itself. Standing here, I actually demand that all apps should share data with different applications, because at the end of the day, it is all about making our life simple. It's humanly impossible to attend all the different app needs. The second one, making computer invisible. When we make computer invisible, we actually take the human responsibility of providing all the system inputs. It literally flips the relation between human and computers. All along until now, we have been adjusting to the needs of computer by learning it, by using the application. But when you make the computer invisible, you actually flip that situation. You make computer understand our situation, our context, and take decisions on our behalf. In order to make the point concrete, let us apply this principle to the smart bulb situation. Now, when you walk in, the system is able to recognize you based on the face recognition technology. Since it is 7 p.m., it is already dark. Let's switch on the light, and not only the light, but the AC itself. Who would not love to have this kind of automated system? The third one is understanding the context. You see, invisibility is only possible if we make the system context aware. By context, I mean all the insight and all the information about us. Rather talking about it, I would like you to watch at the next metaphor, which beautifully highlights the value of being context aware.
From another point of view, it gives quite a different impression. But it's only when you get the whole picture you can fully understand what's going on.
When I presented this idea to one of my colleagues, he was furious because he felt that asking for all the information from all the apps, you are actually breaking the privacy code. It is important to realize that when I'm talking about collecting the information or making the system smart enough, it is not about using the data to push advertisement. The wholehearted idea and the intent is to simplify and take away a lot of responsibility, which most of the application assumes that it is there. Let us apply the context-aware principle to our smart weather situation. Now, the umbrella itself has a microcontroller-powered sensor which connects to the web service, checks on the possibility of the rain, and then if there is a higher chance of rain, it automatically gives a visual feedback by glowing so that you can actually carry it along. You don't need to open your web app. You don't need to kind of check what is the weather. Imagine this situation when you are in the morning rush. You are just about to leave your bus and you are literally running on the road. There is another benefit to it. Based on the uses, the system realized that you were using the umbrella during the hot summer days as well. All of a sudden, bingo. It would start recommending you to carry the umbrella when the temperature goes beyond a certain point. These were the three principles: embrace process, make computer invisible, and understand the context. Interestingly, a lot of organizations have started applying this principle and they're finding a lot of value. Keep the organization aside. For all of us, I know there is a tremendous pressure on all of us being developer to think of innovative idea. You apply all this principle to the different projects, to the different problems you are working on, I can guarantee within 1 month you will have tons of wonderful idea. One of the project wherein we found tremendous value, and that is very close to my heart as well. This is the sad reality of the world. There are 40 million blind people, and unfortunately half of them are India. I was under the impression that computers or the screen reading applications have solved the literacy problem for blind. You know, it's so easy, open the document, run the screen reader, and it is going to read for you. You know what? It is actually making them illiterate. Can you imagine learning from podcast or audio? If you and me cannot imagine that situation, how can we expect for a blind person? So henceforth, we are building this world cheapest refreshable braille. This is going to take any sort of document and then create digital pins out of it. This is being done in collaboration with a Bangalore-based inventor, Paul D'Souza. Again, it is not about moving away from technology, but the whole idea is to simplify it so that it is really used and it really solves a problem. This is the best place for mobile, and it needs to be respected. So next time when you are given a problem, please think of mobile last strategy. Thank you.